Hey everyone, welcome back to another LEGO video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a CMF draft of some LEGO Terraria characters. This is something I've always wanted to see with LEGO, I think, just because I really love Terraria and I really love LEGO, kind of an obvious thing with my channel, kind of the two themes. But it'd be really interesting to see something like this, especially as a CMF series. So this was, of course, inspired by Just Too Good's CMF draft series. If you want to go check that stuff out, you can go check out his channel. I'll leave a card in the corner to that. So yeah, that's kind of just what inspired me to do something like this style of video. So if you do enjoy this, remember to subscribe to support my channel and like the video if you do enjoy it. And yeah, let's get right into it. So for our first character, we have just the default player. This is basically what you would get if you weren't to change your character. I believe this is just the plain default character. A very simple figure, really doesn't have much going on with it. Like literally no printing and really no new pieces on the figure. Notice they have a torch with them, which is kind of a nice piece. It reuses that new Harry Potter torch flame piece, as well as an ice cream cone piece to make the entire torch, and then a new pickaxe piece to represent the copper pickaxe. For our second figure, we have the zombie. This is also a very recognizable Terraria character, and again, fairly simple detailing, nothing crazy yet. You of course come with a gold coin, which would just be a small 1x1 round tile, and then one of those small, they're not fully spherical pieces, they have like an anti-stud on one side, but it would just be a printed piece to represent the demon eye. So for our third character, we have the gold armor player, and so it's, again, fairly simple printing, nothing too advanced here, yet it just reuses Thor's helmet in a pearl gold, which would be kind of nice reuse for that, as well as the scimitar piece in a dark purple to represent the Knight's Edge. You'll notice I gave him a hairpiece, which is actually Lloyd's hairpiece from the LEGO Ninjago movie, molded in a brown color, which would actually be quite a nice piece. For our fourth character, we have the Merchant, and this is a fairly recognizable NPC from the game, and again, also a fairly simple character, as well as he sells a glow stick, which is just this bar in a trans greenish color. He's pretty self-explanatory, nothing big with him. Coming in at number 5 is the Mechanic, another NPC in the game. You'll notice there is a clip piece that actually goes on the back, and this is so that you can actually stick the wrench to her back, and you'll notice how that would actually just clip on. It uses one of those kind of neck bracket pieces. So for the sixth figure, we have the Clothier / the Old Man, and this is definitely a fun figure to throw in here, as it definitely represents a little bit more than just the NPC. For one, he is the Old Man / the Clothier, so he kind of represents two spots. Furthermore, this character represents Chippy Gaming, a big YouTuber in the Terraria community, which I think is just a great way to throw that in, and it has so many different meanings that I think this character is pretty much a must-have on this list. But I decided to give him a balloon molded in blue, which has never been molded in that piece, at least at the date of this recording, so that'd be a nice inclusion, as he sells a bundle of balloons during the party event. In at number 7, we have the Nurse, another very early on NPC that you can get in the game, and this is a very crucial one, even to the end of the game when you fight the Moon Lord, as a lot of people love to use it as a way to heal while you're fighting the Moon Lord. So I thought this was definitely an inclusion to have. It would reuse a lot of pieces, as there's not much new here. Our next figure is the Goblin Tinkerer. This is definitely an interesting one, as it also doesn't really use that many new pieces. It uses the same piece that Black Panther uses, except in a blue color, and of course that red utility belt piece, which I believe comes in one of the new Ninjago sets. So for our next character, we have the Solar Flare armor, and this was an interesting one to translate over, as it's very fiery, very lava-like in its kind of texture, and it looks pretty nice. It would use a new Daybreak accessory, which would be a new mold, of course, and a new helmet mold with a alternate face expression, which would literally just be a black face to get that kind of look. For our next Lunar armor, we have the Nebula armor, which is definitely an interesting one, and for all of these, of course, they're all going to have a hairpiece that you can swap out for the kind of helmet piece. And in this case, it also has an alternate face, which is just a black face with some eye printing to represent the Nebula armor, and it comes with a Power Blast piece to represent the Nebula Blaze weapon. For the next Lunar armor, we have the Stardust armor, which is definitely an interesting one. This one, again, like all of them, has a hairpiece you can switch out. This one doesn't have an alternate face print, as it didn't need to, and it just has a new helmet mold, along with the Stardust Dragon Staff. And for our final Lunar armor, we have the Vortex armor, the Ranger armor of the group. And this one, of course, just comes with a Vortex Beater, which is just a stud shooter with a pretty nice armor. It has a lot of detailing on it, and I'm pretty happy with it. This one here, we have the Wraith, which is a hard mode corruption enemy. It's very similar to a Dementor from Harry Potter, is just kind of what I'm getting from it. And it looks pretty nice, I think. I'm pretty happy with how I designed it. And, of course, it comes with the Shadow Orb, which is just one of those Lego ball pieces, such as, like, the soccer ball, basketball, that sort of piece, just in a purple color, as well as the Nightmare Pickaxe, which is a reuse of that pickaxe piece that I showed from the first figure. The next figure is from the Crimson, of course, and this would have a new molded head. This is the Face Monster, and similar to the previous one, it uses a pickaxe piece to represent the Deathbringer pickaxe, and another ball piece to represent the Crimson Heart. Our next figure is the Blue Armored Bones. This is one of the dungeon enemies in the game, and this one was just one that I kind of randomly picked to throw in here because I wanted something from the dungeon to kind of represent it. And so, of course, it comes with a Paladin's Hammer, which would just be a reprinted Thor's Hammer, and then a book to represent the Magnet Sphere. For our next character, we have something from the Pillar event, or the Lunar event, and this is the Selenian, I believe that's how you say it. This is one of the enemies in the Solar Pillar. And so this one would use a new mold for the helmet, and then 2 orange kind of knife pieces to represent the blades. For our second to last figure, we have the Lunatic Cultist, which is one of the bosses towards the end of the game that actually summons the Pillar event, and then eventually the Moon Lord. So this is definitely an interesting one. Yeah, and he comes with a new molded mask, and then obviously there's no specific face print for him. I just decided to make something up, and it actually looks pretty nice. And for our final figure, we have Red's armor. This is definitely going to be the rare figure. This is only 1 per 60, as it comes with a bunch of new molds, including a new helmet/wing mold, a new hair mold, which I will show you in a second, as well as a potion, which is supposed to represent the Red's Potion, an unobtainable item in the game that, when consumed, will actually give you a bunch of horrible debuffs. He also comes with the Meowmere, which is one of the end-game melee weapons that you can get. Of course, it's the armor of the developer, and who better to put underneath the mask than Andrew Spinks himself, the developer and creator of Terraria. I think it looks okay in Lego form, and of course, I said he has a new hairpiece, which I think works really nice for him. So if you guys did enjoy this list of Lego Terraria CMF draft figures, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I already said that though, so I don't know why I'm repeating myself. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye.